thought when we asked you to be in a show about feminism?
Well, it didn't surprise me because you know me, and you're the one who first called me a feminist. And then you were.
Was I? That makes sense. I
It's
mean,
not something I go around saying, you know, like, I'm a feminist. Look at me.
well, that probably has to do with
I was raised by very strong, brilliant Sicilian women. And if anybody knows the stereotype of Italians and their grandmothers, it's 100% true. And I probably don't have to say much more than that if you know how that goes. Like,
it's a bit of an iron. Yes, Luigi knows.
you know. I mean, we love, I mean, they're everything to us. So that's our mother, my grandmother, you know, the matriarchs of our family. And that's how I was raised, and it stuck with me my whole life.
And also that, but what I find really interesting about your story too is that although that happened, and it happened like Canarsie, it was super hardcore, there was always an encouragement by that same family to be weird and go to art school and put your own stuff together, and you know, you weren't, and be a vegetarian, what? Italian vegetarian. Yeah, I'm saying my mother was freaked out too. But I'm saying, so I feel like, you know, the aspect of what I like about your clothing is that it seems more smart than skin. Even though a lot of it is actually see-through, it seems like it's intelligent as opposed to just.
It's about empowerment and beauty, you know. It's not. There's no sort of disrespect. And if anything, it's paying respect to the muse or whoever that might be. Women especially, of course.
Yeah, and the idea too is of androgyny has been very important in your clothing. That, you know, a lot of the clothes, many of the pieces of actual clothing have been worn and photographed being worn by both men and women. And so, you know, there's something in the approach to androgyny in the work too that just makes it feel less like tight, constricted, you know, kind of fashion that makes you fit into a mold, as opposed to every single piece being, you know, one of a kind and also kind of made on the person. And I know, so this piece is behind us is the one that everybody's been obsessed with, which, would you like to tell them the full name of your piece?
The piece is called "A Pussy Hair Can Pull a Train, Then Jack Came." And the first part of the title is, my grandmother always said to me, "A pussy hair can pull a train." That's she said this to me. She still says, she's 85 now? She just says, remember that, and she would make a choo-choo sound. Just remember. So that's how I grew up. And I mean, it's tragedy. It's tragic. You know, you had Marilyn Monroe, who was this sex symbol that was actually really a genius and was super smart, but felt, you know, like who could push men around, you know, using that pussy hair. She was pulling the train, and then she kind of fell in love with Jack, and she got herself into a whole bit of trouble. And you know,
and Jackie sort of blew up.
Well, I mean, yes. It's a big tragedy. The whole thing is all tragedy all around. And yes, Jackie, of course, scooping her husband's brain off the back of the car.
In her pink Chanel suit.
Exactly.
You know, and there's a reason that those are, you know, that's an iconic sort of love triangle in our culture, because it was all so constructed. You know, like no one in that story was allowed to be themselves for very long, ever. And we're still thinking about that.
Absolutely.
As well as the idea that a piece of clothing can tell a story the same way that a painting can tell a story is also fascinating to me. So that technically it might shed a little, but I could put that jacket on and wear it. Like it has structural integrity. A lot of the clothes are made with bullet holes and things. So it's wearable, but it exists in both kinds of culture.